Hi and welcome back. This is Michael King, promoting all things dance, or at least that's what it says up there. We hope you enjoyed a little look around our assessment day. I think possibly the next part is geared more towards studio owners. Organising an assessment day can take a long time if it's going to be done right. I'm not saying this is the right way. Everybody has their own way of doing it. This is the way that we go about it. Hopefully it's of some help to you. So let's jump right in. The first thing that we would do from our registers would take all the pupils' names that we think would like to do an assessment or an exam day or a test day, whatever you wish to call it, and send a form to the appropriate association. We use the IDTA, the International Dance Teachers Association, so everything within this video will be geared towards the IDTA. The first thing that we would do would be to find the names from our registers of the pupils that we think are ready for their exam, assessment, test day, call it whatever you wish. We would fill in their form with the date preferred, whatever the date might be, the day, the number of days required, the start time, the finish time, another date, the name of the principal. I think it's all self-explanatory from here. And how many students per style, per genre you wish to enter. Having sent this then to the appropriate examining body, we will then get a date back and it's all systems go from there. The next thing we would do is to organise a timetable. Now obviously for privacy reasons we have used the same names on this throughout, and imaginary grades and tests and imaginary prices. We have all the prices here at £25. I wish. Unfortunately they're not. But this will give you an idea. So we would take our ID number, and that would be the number that we would give to our students as they come in for their assessment. Their first name, their second name, the branch that they're taking, and the grade that they are taking. Now all these grades, dependent on which association we use, will be a different number. The mark, that will be for the examiner. The approximate time for their examination. Now that's really quite important. We tend to work on a minute a dance per candidate. So if we have a couple coming in, two people coming in, and they're going to dance two dances, we would allot 4 minutes for that. So that would be 2 dances times 2 people, 4 minutes, and we'd perhaps even do 5 minutes, because the thing that very often is forgotten is the entering the examination room and the exiting the examination room, which soon adds up if you've got a lot of candidates going in for examination. In our association we have PIN numbers which are allotted to each pupil. Here I've just used KDP, King Dance Promotions, and numbered it from there, but each pupil will have their own specific unique PIN number. If it's their first award, they will obviously not have a PIN number, and we will place that on their sheet. This section is something that we use to merge with letters for parents, because we might use certain codes here, but parents or any candidate will not understand what that code means. So what we will actually do as we put it out to a candidate, we will actually state what exam level they're at. We've placed the fee here, and this is a little something that I tend to like to do. There are many programs that are already pre-done for these type of events. I tend to use Excel and Word as a merge. It's something I've done for a long time. In fact, this system was actually put into place by my former partner, must be 30 odd years ago, when we used to have to do it by hand, but even then it was a very good system. We would place the fee of the exam there. As the candidate pays their exam fee, we would mark it off, whether it's a cheque or cash. We then have a difference here, and we can see immediately that that will counteract the balance. If there is a difference, and we will do this under a different video with Excel and Word, it can be immediately picked up as an error. I've done 1 or 2 errors here, where somebody has, their fee is £25, they've paid £30, so what we actually have is an overpayment of £5. As we come to the end of our timetable, although pupils obviously never see this, it will be added up. That is your fees, that is the amount of checks, That is the amount of cash. So the fees requested, 2,400. The fees collected, and what I've done to get this is to add K and L together, is that there is a difference of £111. We can then immediately go back and check. Obviously, this takes a little time. However, it saves time in the long run. Our next port of call would be to send a letter out to each parent, and we do use a different letter for adult candidates, explaining to them when our examination is. And yes, I know there is no 30th of February 1066, it's just a date that we can use for this process, asking their permission to enter them for their International Dance Award, explaining that the assessor will be appointed by the IDTA and has no allegiance to your dance studio, explaining how the children will be escorted into the ballroom on the day. We're lucky that we have 2 studios, and what we actually do is put a camera into the examination room and show it on a large screen, which you probably saw on the video beforehand, in the second studio where parents wait for their children. By using a mail merge from our timetable, we can create a personalized letter using their names. We've actually put the date on this one. It will also tell the parent what examination they're taking and the fee, of course, and the date in which the form must be returned so that we can get the timetable organised. The parent signs it. We do insist on dance shoes, not necessarily though for their first awards. No trousers for girls, light or no makeup, long hair tied back, and please check that the spellings are correct. We explain when the times will be issued, which we actually do give to the pupils also, but it can be found on your website. When we've received permission from the children and their fees, we then enter this information onto our timetable. We then merge this information to their sheet, which has their ID number, the branch of which they're taking, i.e. ballroom, Latin, it might be theatre in your case, the grade in which they're taking, which might be bronze, silver, grade 1, grade 2, and their PIN number, their first name and their surname. This will look a little bit like this, as all their personal information has now been entered. This will then be printed onto the forms. This is the form that the candidate will take into the assessment with them. It will have the ID and number already printed into that, the branch, the grade, their PIN number, the date of the last test. All the information will come from our timetable. This will then be filled in obviously by the assessor, the examiner, and signed. We give our members a letter telling them the time of their assessment. At the end of their assessment, as they're leaving the assessment room, they are given a letter for their presentation. We always live in hopes. We take our juniors into the assessment room in groups where we dance with them 2 at a time. We find this helps to save time on swap over and keeps the assessment session working quickly. This has been rather a long tutorial and maybe a little bit dry as well. If you've taken one idea from it and it's helped, then we're happy. We're back in the ballroom doing Latin technique very shortly and look forward to seeing you then. Until then, see you later.